Hello, YouTube. We're just waiting for Carl. Hello, YouTube. We're just waiting. Carl was here. He was eating his dinner, but I said we wouldn't start the live stream until all the mukbanging was done, because we're having a mukbang-free zone this week. We will be starting in the next 10-15, maximum, hopefully sooner than that. Oh, laptop's getting a bit hot. Come on, Carl. How long does it take to put a plate away? I really don't want to stop the live stream while I wait for Carl, because I've already started it now, and then it gets all dodgy with extra recordings and stuff.
The meeting's been live streamed already.
Yeah, I turned it on because I thought you'd be back in a second, so now I've just been sitting here with a live stream for a few minutes.
Where's my video gone? There you go.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I didn't
Hello.
realise we were So I've come straight into live streaming. Great.
Yeah. Is there a background? I've opened the window because it's quite hot in here. My laptop's getting a bit hot. Is it obvious?
Diddums.
Is it obvious?
No.
Okay, cool. Because it's already dropped 10 degrees just by opening the window.
Yeah.
That's fine.
As they say, a door closes, a window opens.
Yeah. I mean the.
I'm going to shut my case down behind.
One of the cores are still operating at 84 degrees Celsius, so that's still. Yeah, one of the cores are still operating at 84 degrees Celsius.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it was at 94, so that's better.
Jesus Christ. Boil a kettle on that.
Yeah, just give it a quick burst of cold air.
I was just outside, and I was downstairs, and I had I was just looking through my LinkedIn, and I just looked, and someone on LinkedIn is offering a trip to Monaco for free on Friday. So you leave Stansted on Friday, go out to Monaco. You have to do a couple of trips transferring multimillionaires from Nice to Monaco, but you get to be at the Grand Prix on Saturday and Sunday.
That sounds like a deal.
Yeah, I was like,
sign me up.
I so want to do that. So yeah, James Clutterbuck at Barclay events doing that. But yeah.
Yeah, and then you can just you could use it as a great chance to promote the podcast.
Yeah, unfortunately I'm working all day Friday.
That's a shame.
Otherwise I would be like, yes. That'd be cool.
Right. Cool. Okay, we've just lost 15 degrees off the temperature just by doing those quick bursts of the fan, so that's fine. Shall we start?
Why is your fan so loud?
I don't know. Because I got a stupid Alienware when I shouldn't have done.
I thought they were like the best gaming one, but I suppose they're the best gaming one, not for podcasting.
Yeah.
But does anyone really want that noise when you're gaming?
Well, yeah, I bought for a laptop. I probably couldn't have got much better, but I need a tower now.
Yeah, but you can't suddenly run that upstairs or to a different place.
No, so something like this, it would be fine for the odd occasion. Yeah. But yeah, it's not a good idea for
I'd be lost without my laptop.
Like, oh yeah, I still keep this. I'm just going to make it a bit quicker and then.
I couldn't imagine
reinstall it.
I couldn't imagine having a towered computer anymore.
Oh, well, I haven't had one for about 5 years, but it's only because we're doing this more that I kind of need something a bit more powerful.
Do they still really exist apart from gaming world?
Yes. There's a big market for that.
For stationary computers.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the world of
especially for home offices and stuff now.
Home offices, but surely everyone just works off their laptop because then they have to take their home office into work.
No, not necessarily. You have your home office and then you have your portable office.
And then everything's in the cloud. All that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Ugh. Should we start the podcast?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Right, I must remember to press record first.
Press record.
Nearly forgot.
Okay, I got it. It's so funny. Everyone has to do that.
I'm going to try and do this so we don't just start shouting over the title music. I don't know if you can actually hear me though.
I can hear you, but you always shout.
Yeah. It's because the music is actually really loud in my ear.
Yeah, it was quite funny when I couldn't hear it last week and you could.
And I was just shouting.
Yeah.
I was just thinking I'm going to have to turn it down for the 2-minute challenge, but I remembered I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Don't give it away too early.
Yeah.
George Russell, he's the Formula 2 champion.
Oh! Indy 500 this weekend.
Big one.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
Do not adjust your sets. I am in a different location today.
Yeah, but I'm always in a different location. Everyone's confused as to where I am.
Yeah, I'm in a very farty chair as well. It just constantly makes farty noises.
Chair.
Whenever I move.
I'm currently in my room. I've just realised my door's wide open. So this is a great start to the podcast. I'm going to have to go and shut my door.
Go for it. I'll explain to the listeners what's going on with me. So basically, I found out with about 5 minutes' notice that my wonderful wife Emily and coiner of things like this.
It's the 2-minute challenge.
is
Sounds
having
like
a
you've got 8
rehearsal.
wives.
Is having a rehearsal for a show she's doing on Saturday night.
What show is she doing?
She's doing a Jubilee like knees up concert.
Oh yeah,
thing.
I saw that.
Like
I was
a
going to ask about that.
yeah, traditional concert type, just British.
Vintage.
Yeah,
Isn't that the word?
vintage pomp and ceremony. Yeah, basically it's all just like a hey, great British type thing, and
Is this
know.
for the Jubilee?
yeah. It's selling quite well actually, but she's having a final rehearsal for that tonight, which breakdown in communication. I kind of was told about it about 2 weeks ago, but completely forgot about it. And
Yeah,
then
but
I
your
was just
mail,
like,
it goes in one end.
yeah,
and out the
that
other.
is true. So I was just like, okay. So the time that I was going to spend sitting down doing my race review and my 2-minute challenge, I then had to up sticks and move to my parents' house, and I'm now doing a podcast from there. So hence why I haven't got a green screen up. But fear not, because if you look over my, this is reversed.
You've got a duck.
So that's my left shoulder. Next to the duck, not the duck, just above that, you will see there Leo, the annoying little bastard who normally interrupts the podcast. He is still on the podcast. He's sitting on a shelf in picture form only. So
Nice.
fear not, Leo is still with us. But
Not
he's
that
gonna be-
anyone can see this on a podcast.
Yeah, he's going to be slightly less annoying than.
Yeah,
he
it's going to be
normally
quite
is.
quiet today, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean there was a cat in here when I got in here, but she's gone off now. She's
Nice.
buggered off. So
Oh,
yeah.
you're in that place.
What's that noise? Is that a car?
Car.
Do I need to shut that window?
How long's that car going to be sat there, though?
I'm going to shut the window.
Oh, brilliant. We're doing a great start today. So Tom's now off to shut windows, but his computer will explode now. That's the only thing.
Quite possibly, but I've cooled it down, so we're 82 degrees, so we're okay. We're okay. So yeah, if this podcast crashes and burns, then the
It's all
reason
Tom's fault for once.
It's because my laptop is dead. But don't worry, I will be getting a new computer soon, but I just can't afford it at the moment because I've got the honeymoon in 3 weeks or 2 weeks now. So
Oh shit! When's that? I've got to think about getting people
Yeah.
on board.
yeah, like 12th of June. So that'll be Canada, I want to say, maybe.
Yeah, you've got 2. You actually missed 2, don't you?
Potentially.
So 12th of June is you go.
Yeah.
Azerbaijani
Oh.
and Canada is on the 19th.
Okay, right.
So
That's
I've got
annoying.
2 podcasts on my own.
That's annoying. Yeah, I won't have time for.
by myself.
I won't have time on Azerbaijan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'll be doing a fireside podcast a day before I leave for my honeymoon. Amazing.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
Nice. Yeah, so we're so I was on talking about Farside, I was on Grid Talk. You were on Grid Talk as well.
Yeah, we've both done
been-
it. Yeah, but not at the same time for once.
No. So Tom was on Sundays and I was on the preview for Monaco, which I've never even listened to the previews. So I didn't even know what I was doing there. But I was well behaved apart from one swear word.
Yeah, you dropped the F-bomb once, and I realised where it was when I listened to it earlier today.
Was it Aston Martin?
No, you were talking about Carlos Sainz, I think.
No.
It was something to do with Ferrari. I remember you. Yeah. So.
Do they not beep it out in the podcast?
No, they just
Alright.
kind of put it out. They could do. They could do. But yeah, they're trying to monetize the YouTube channel because they got quite a lot of subscribers now. A hell of a lot more than us. Put
Yes.
it that way. Actually, we've got 37 subscribers, so they got more than 10 times what we've got.
20 times. They're up nearly 600, 500
Yeah,
plus. aren't they?
560, I think they're on.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, we've not got a massive YouTube following, but yeah, it's yeah. I mean, they are bigger than us. That's why.
And we are the crazy podcast by
Exactly,
their standards.
exactly.
Like,
I loved your promo for this podcast. You were just like, yeah, we're the guys that swear,
Yeah,
having
we're
just
like
said the F-bomb.
we're like the naughty cousins that don't give a shit. Like
Yeah,
we're the party animals. But yeah.
yeah,
Well, we're like the anti-geeks.
yeah. It's like when I interviewed Richard Reddy from Mr. Apex podcast for another podcast, and it was so refreshing because his podcast is very PG, obviously, and everything. And then we're on the on the pre-chat, and he's just effing and blinded. I was just like, this is cool, this is cool. And then on the podcast, after the podcast, we were talking about how I said that some modern day athletes are better than older athletes, so therefore you got people like Lance Stroll is better than the world champions of like James Hunt era, that kind of thing. And then he then said, oh yeah, I'm going to go one further and say that they're even better than people like Senna. And then he said afterwards, oh well, I always love going on to other people's shows because they're the ones that have to deal with the emails. I can just like sit on the podcast and say fuck it, Stroll's better than Senna, and then you have to deal with the shit.
or like I did and just completely rip into George Russell on Monday.
Yeah, you did. I have to admit, there was a couple of moments during the podcast I was just like, what are you on about?
I don't even know what I'm on about. I just make shit up as I go along.
Oh, I've made a horrible mistake, Carl. I decided, because I don't have a green screen today, because I had this lovely, genuine background, not a fake background, that I would wear my green top that I can never wear because...
and now you're too hot.
And now I'm sweating my balls off.
Okay, Tom's going to do a strip show. Tom's going to do a strip show.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Put it away! I saw your belly.
This is amazing audio content.
Yeah. I saw your belly. No,
it's fine.
Farty
chair.
Talking about bellies. Laura turns around to me, my wife. What? No, I didn't.
Talking about bellies, my wife.
No.
Okay.
My wife turned around to me and said about you. She was watching Chandok. Let's just clarify this. Let's not quote this out of context. Turned around to me and goes, she was watching Chandok on. She went, do you know what? He reminds me of Tom. I went, what? He went, have you seen his thighs?
Yeah, to be fair.
Tom is known for his large thighs, and so is Chandok.
I do have huge thighs. It's the Horrocks thighs.
But the fact is that Chandok tries to squeeze into very tiny suit trousers, which I think makes it worse.
Yeah. He is like effectively royalty or something like that. He's got like good breeding.
So big thighs mean...
Yeah. Well, you can wear what you want when you've got as much money as him. So
yeah.
Right.
If only we had that much money.
As I've already mentioned, I haven't actually got a 2-minute challenge for you today. So as a result,
there is no 2-minute challenge.
So earlier nomination for
Who's our dick of the day?
It's me.
Why? What happened, Tom?
Well, no, it's just I just haven't had time to do the. Well, I have had time, but I decided to play Gran Turismo instead.
Yeah, and also I came onto the podcast an hour. Normally, I go, oh yeah, come on for 8. I'll be on for 8, and then I land at 8:30.
Yeah.
Today I was like, I'm going to go online now, and suddenly Tom was like, why are you here at 7 o'clock?
Yeah, I literally, it's about 7:15. I literally just turned on the Zoom to test my audio and my video, and then Carl was already sitting there. I was like, what?
Hi.
What are you doing here? I was quite surprised with the Grid Talk preview that was at 7 o'clock, and I just had this vision of you going, shit, 7, I can't be on till 8. So that's why I clocked in at like 7:15, and you were on. I was like, oh, I'm proud of you.
I had to kick bollock scramble myself into here. I've got to do a load of work after this podcast as well.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll crack on.
So it's all good fun. So we can't really give you a review, but if you really, to be honest, me and Tom have done a lot of the review and talked about this race. So I think we should look at some of the outsiders and a bit of the...
Yeah, we can talk a little bit about other stuff around it, but there's people that listen to us that don't listen to other podcasts that we've done. So potentially we should cover a little bit about the race as a whole anyway.
So you're going to do a 2-minute challenge without?
No, not really. We'll just go through.
This is how badly planned we are. The thing is,
my laptop's turned its fans on. That must mean it's getting too hot. It normally doesn't do that. Yeah.
You're going to have to open the window again.
There we go. Oh no, it's doing that thing where it just constantly turns the fans back on now. Oh well, we're probably just going to have to live with it. Oh no, seems to be working now. This is going really well today. Right. Yeah, so if we have a look at also I'm using a mouse that doesn't have a tracker ball in the middle, so I feel hamstrung. I feel like I feel like I don't
without a tracker ball.
Yeah.
What are you back in the 80s? A tracker ball.
Yeah, well, not a track. You know what I mean? The little rolly bit in the middle.
Yeah, those don't exist anymore. It's all lasered. Like
what?
They're £10. No one has a rollable mouse thing where you have
to
where you have to turn it out, open it.
No, not one of those. Not one of those. The thing, you got the ball in the middle so you can scroll up and down the page.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of those. No, I haven't got the ball. No,
That's what I was like.
that's like 20 years ago.
You have to then go in and clean off the insides.
No, I just feel like I'm a Red Bull chasing a Mercedes with no DRS. It's just So basically we've got Max Verstappen. Yeah, that was funny. Max Verstappen won the race. Sergio Perez second. Another Red Bull 1-2. Dead easy, simple. Nothing else happened because it's Spain. Oh wait, no, it was actually a really good race, wasn't it?
It was.
Should we spend a couple of minutes, just 5 minutes maximum, just go through the drivers one at a time, and then just be like,
should we do it like the other proper podcasts?
Well, no, we'll do it. We'll do it really quick and slapdash. Okay, right. So, in 20 words or less, in 20 words or less, describe Max Verstappen's race. Go.
What?
That's 5.
He got given it. He got handed that race. He shouldn't have won. He should have come second. He got handed that race. He was grand, but he wasn't anything special. And no, I don't know why he won that race. Luck prevailed for him. He should have come third at best, and he ended up winning. So
right,
yeah.
Okay. Sergio Perez had a good strategy, seemed to be holding up good pace, managed to get past George Russell where Max Verstappen couldn't. Granted, he was hamstrung by not having a DRS, and then was told to let Max Verstappen through when he had the chance to try and win the race. Even though I don't think he would have done anyway, but he still had the chance. He had worked.
I think he should have been given the chance.
Yeah, but he didn't. Cool. Perez done. George Russell, go.
Why? He's not anything special. He's still rubbish. He was just found himself fortunate in a place. Let's stop all sucking up to George Russell because he's English. He's still shit. He's still not that great. He found himself into a position that, okay, is he better than Hamilton? I'm not sure. Hamilton has a lot more unluckiness than him. But yeah, I just don't think he's anything. I think he's in a goodish car. That's where the Mercedes are.
Oh dear. Right. Carlos Sainz started in third place, and the two people ahead of him had issues where his teammate retired and Verstappen went into the gravel at one point. So surely Carlos Sainz won his home Grand Prix. No, he finished fourth. The end. Lewis Hamilton, go.
Great obviously got hit by Magnussen. Probably Magnussen's fault. I think we can all agree on that one. I don't think anyone is. I'm not suddenly become a Hamilton fan. Let's just clarify this. But he did a great job getting up to that position. That car is still a bit of a crock of shit, but it's not the worst crock of shit on that platform, on that racetrack. So no, I think it's probably possibly driver of the day, but let's discuss that later.
Okay, Valtteri Bottas. He showed good pace. He was holding on. Team gave him a two-stopper, which he said was the Duff strategy. However, Lewis Hamilton technically did a two-stopper and was potentially driver of the day. Sebastian Vettel made a two-stopper work. The only people who didn't make two-stoppers work are those who can't manage tyres. Valtteri Bottas. Moving on, Esteban Ocon, go.
Was he in the race? How the hell is he seventh? Like, what? How does he do that? He just goes under the radar. I don't think they put a second of him on the TV because I have no idea how he ended up there. I don't know how his race went because I never saw any of it. So, grand, well done, Ocon.
He did make a few overtakes on camera in the early stages. Right, Lando Norris finished 8th place. Had tonsillitis. Absolutely destroyed his teammate. Had a lap time deleted from Q2, which meant he didn't get to Q3. And yeah, he was basically dead. He hardly spoke on the radio all race. At the end of the race, he basically had to be removed from his car, taken straight to the doctor. He's got tonsillitis. He's now recovering at home in Monaco, which is handy because that means all he's got to do is walk out his front door to get to the next race. Done. Fernando Alonso, 9th place.
I mean, like, why is he still there? Fucking retire.
You're getting the best ones.
Yeah, he did all right. I mean, Alpine. The fact that I think Ocon's just beating him time out and time. Like, grand. He's nothing. He's old. He's retired. He should be gone. He's an ex-world champion, and he'll never have that opportunity again, even though he keeps saying he will. And for a home race, the fact that he did start in the pits and then ended up in ninth. Are we on ninth?
Ninth.
I mean, fair play, but then let's be honest, the other 11 aren't that great behind him.
And the first of those not great, Yuki Tsunoda, 10th place. I quite like this format. Maybe we do this in future instead of the 2-minute challenge. It's quite fun. Yuki Tsunoda, I don't remember him at all. I don't recall seeing him. Do you? I have got really nothing I can say.
No idea how he's got there. No idea how he got there.
Yeah, if we do continue with this format, maybe we should do a little bit of prep work on it. But
no, I think it's part of the fun. Because this improves the point of who actually is in the races and who's not, and who's getting the video time, who's not. Who's actually racing well, but the fact that Ocon and Tsunoda have ended up in those positions and we're not sure how suggests they had a good race,
Yeah, anyway. Another point for Yuki. He's done better than his teammate again.
Don't know what's going on with Gasly. Go on.
Seb Vettel, go.
What did he do? And I know something happened to him. Did something happen to him? I don't know. No idea.
This is going well.
Maybe this won't be the good idea. Vettel, I mean, grand. Probably he's in where he should be. I can't imagine him doing any better at the moment. That car is the photocopier. You might as well stick wheels on the photocopier and race them down because I think it'll just go faster. I said this on the grid talk the other day. It is. I don't like. They have no idea how that car works. They keep just taking ideas, and even if they haven't photocopied it, taken it, they don't know how that idea works. So what the hell are they doing? I don't know. So it's grand. It is what it is. But that Aston's a crock of shit, and no matter how many Red Bull parts they put on it.
Okay, 12th place, Daniel Ricciardo. Another poor race. Started ahead of his teammate, 8th place, I think maybe he may have qualified. I think either 8th or 9th. And he's finished out the points in 12th. He had no pace whatsoever. After the race, he said, I don't know what happened. I hope they find something wrong with the car. Sorry,
your teammate with tonsillitis managed to do quite well.
It's weird. I don't know what's happened to Daniel.
You're on your way out. On your way out.
He's got another year on his contract, but I get
he's not even going to do that.
I get the feeling that there may well be performance clauses.
We'll talk about who's going to who's replace him after this. Go on.
Pierre Gasly, you 13.
Talking about people that are going to replace Ricardo. I don't. Again, he's having a really tough time of it at the moment. I don't quite understand why. He's behind Tsunoda a couple of times. I'm just waiting for him to. He gets reinvigorated halfway through seasons. He always does that. So I don't know, I don't know what it is, but this is a way he does this. He always, like, if my memory serves me, he sort of drops in the early part of the mid season or the late part of the early season, whatever you want to call this period. He seems to drop out. I don't know why. I think he just doesn't have. I don't even think it's the same tracks, so no idea. But he did that with Red Bull. Thinking about it, he wasn't performing, and he did it last year as well, and then came back.
Okay. Mick Schumacher started in the points, was up to 6th when Magnussen and Hamilton came together, and then just basically gradually dropped. The team put him on a 30-lap final stint, which just didn't work, and he just dropped and dropped because, again, two-stopper would have only worked in that race if you can manage tyres well. It was a tyre management race. It was a tyre limited race. The drivers that did the best are the drivers that can manage their tyres best. Let's look at that. That's Hamilton and that's Perez. They're the people that handled the tyres best.
Although Hamilton can't manage his fuel the best.
No, it wasn't his fuel. The engine was overheating. There was a water leak on both cars. That's why they both had to back off right at the end. So it was actually a performance. It was a retirement issue. Yeah, he got to 4th on merit, and it was the car that let him down, which is why I dropped it down to 5th. Right, who's next? Lance Stroll, for you, go.
Right, next.
Nicholas Latifi. Right, Kevin Magnussen, you, go.
Screwed up.
No, actually, I'm going to
heading
go back. I'm going to go back. Latifi, in fairness to him, he did do okay. He showed good pace all day and was just ahead of Albon all day.
And he finished, but but then I heard this fact that he only hasn't finished one race. Except I feel like he hasn't finished for a lot of races.
He's done a lot of crashes in qualifying and practice and stuff.
All right.
But yeah, no, he was the measure of Albon all weekend, which, given the way Albon's been performing, shows that there is something in there. But Spain is the track that he will know by far the best. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Kevin Magnussen.
Screwed up, crashed into Hamilton. It was a race incident. I don't think he should have been penaltied or anything for it, and I'm glad he wasn't. But I think it was his fault in the scheme of racing incidents, and that just lost him the race and couldn't make anything out back up again. The thing is with those Ferraris, they qualify well. Those Haas Ferraris, is they qualify well, and well, especially Magnussen does, but actually on the track they're a bit slow and not very good at overtaking, which when you get knocked to the back, it's hard to make up. And he was quite far back as well because he had I think, did he have a flat or did Hamilton?
I think no. He went off track and then was I think he had some floor damage from going through the gravel, which is not going to help.
Yeah.
Okay, Alex Albon, last on the road, no pace all day. That car was just, Spain is a track that shows up any weaknesses in the car. It's a good all-round track, and so it shows that on average, the Williams is the worst car on the grid because he was just absolutely nowhere. Finished behind a damaged Kevin Magnussen, who had a trip through the gravel. Finished behind his teammate. Finished behind, Lance Stroll.
Everyone.
So exactly, last on track and 2 laps down. The only people that were 2 laps down were his teammate and Kevin Magnussen with floor damage. So that kind of goes to show, really. Yeah. Zhou Guan Yu, 19th.
I'm trying to remember what happened to him.
He retired on lap 6 or something.
But why?
Engine problem.
They didn't really make much of it, did they?
No, he retired the lap after Leclerc with the same problem.
Okay. But the same problem, but different cars.
Yeah, but same engine though. Alfa Romeo.
Oh, it's Alfa Romeo. It's a Ferrari, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I mean, I don't even know where he was before he left the track.
He was nowhere really. He was.
I mean,
I think
Zhou,
he was ahead of the Astons.
Look, Zhou's a rookie. I'm not worried about Zhou. Zhou has the year, and I think he should get a second year.
Yeah, I am fine for him to have the year, but he needs to show something before the end of the year. For me, he needs to have a spark of something. He's shown absolutely nothing. The car is a
good car because of where
the car is a 5th to 10th place car, which means he needs to be finishing 10th place when everything goes like normal for him to be up to standard for Formula One. So if he's popping in and out of the points on a semi-regular basis, for me, that's enough.
Yeah, I'm not worried if he's dancing around 8th to 12th.
Yeah, but he's not doing that at the moment. Let's have a look at his results. I've got them up here somewhere. Good old Wikipedia. Where is it? Zhou, 10th, 11th, 15th, retirement. Okay, so maybe I am being a little bit harsh on him, but his qualifying performances are terrible.
Yeah.
When you've got Bottas qualifying like P5, P6, and then he's been down there in 12th, 13th. It's very much, we've made this comparison before, it's very much like Gasly and Tsunoda last year. Gasly qualifying top 5 and Tsunoda nowhere. Yeah, and then I've got Charles Leclerc. He was in full control of the race. He was looking at doing a 2-stop, which, provided he managed his tyres correctly, would have been the correct strategy. The 3-stop was a slower strategy, but it worked to get you clean air. Leclerc had clean air because he was in first, so I think it would have been, even with Verstappen not getting boxed in behind Russell, I think
he was flying. Hard. He got a free pit stop on lap 30 or something or whatever.
Yeah, Verstappen was obviously where he'd had the trip across the gravel and then got stuck behind Russell. They were both losing time from each other.
Lap 12 or whatever it was.
Yeah, he's I think it was lap 8, I want to say he went through the gravel. Or maybe lap 9, something. It was somewhere around there anyway. But yeah, so I think Leclerc had the race in his pocket, and through no fault of his own, retired.
Was that related to going off?
Well, Leclerc, no, he didn't go off.
Oh no, Leclerc didn't go off.
It was Sainz that went off. So yeah, it's worrying for Ferrari. But yeah, so that leads us to standings. Verstappen now leads the Drivers' Championship, 110 points. Charles Leclerc, 104. Sergio Perez, oh, fans have kicked in again. Sergio Perez, 85. George Russell, 74. Carlos Sainz, 65. Lewis Hamilton, 46. Lando Norris, 39. Valtteri Bottas, 38. Esteban Ocon, 30 points. Magnussen, 15. Didn't know he had that many points, actually, Magnussen. Tsunoda 11, Ricardo 11. Didn't think Ricardo had that many, to be honest. Pierre Gasly only 6 points. Sebastian Vettel 4. Fernando Alonso lofty 4 points now. Finally pulls him clear of Alex Albon in the championship.
It's the World Championship section there, isn't it?
Yeah. Lance Stroll, no, we're out of it now. Lance Stroll 2 points. Zhou Guanyu 1 point, and then Mick Schumacher, Nico Hulkenberg, and then in 21st, Nicholas Latifi.
Still behind Hulkenberg.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
So that's our standings. So we had some really, I think, yeah, we had the debut of the. I haven't seen this, but we had the debut of the pear flavored Red Bull. Did you hear about that?
There's a pear flavored Red Bull.
Yeah, they brought it to the track on Friday. Basically, it's green cans.
Right. So are we going to get a special green version of the Red Bull at some point?
Yeah, it's called the Aston Martin. That's why they brought it to troll Aston Martin.
I didn't realise that.
I've not seen it, but apparently, yeah, it is a thing. Pear flavoured Red Bull. I don't know where you can get it, but I reckon as soon as they saw the Aston Martin, they just shipped it in just to troll them.
Yeah, get it in green, and just leave it outside their container.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Dan Fallows, was it him? Other people who left Red Bull for Aston Martin? Is it them?
I mean, to blame Dan Fellows, I mean, let's be honest, they've all got their photographers out on, in Barcelona round 1.
Yeah, but you can't reverse engineer that car in 2 months.
But then you can't engineer that car in 3 weeks.
Exactly. So, what do you think?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't imagine it being Dan, because. He would have had access to that design because he only left the team in January, so he would have had access to that design because that design's been in the wind tunnel for 6 months. Yeah, he might have had the access, but then for them to fabricate it and put it on their own and shut and cut it to their own car.
So there's two
because it's the floor, isn't it? It's the floor.
It's the side pods.
The question. And the same snaky side pod bits. But I think it's the floor as well. They've changed the floor.
It's the whole aero concept is identical to the Red Bull. So what they're saying now, what Aston Martin are saying is that they were running 2 concepts side by side, and they opted to go with the original concept that they released back in the Barcelona shakedown, and then they realised as soon as the Red Bull on the second test in Bahrain revealed their challenger, their updated car, they saw that the philosophy that Red Bull had gone down, which was the same philosophy that they had binned off for their current one, and then they thought, oh, hang on, maybe we should have gone for that philosophy. This isn't really yielding the rewards that we thought. Let's go to that philosophy and bring it to Spain to do a back-to-back comparison when we go to Spain in 5 races' time. So then they spent 5 races honing that design. But it's so similar. It is so similar. What could have happened is Dan Fallows could have taken it, or other people, not just Dan. And just to point out, this is just conjecture. This is just a theory. It's my opinion. It's not even an opinion. It's just a thought that's entered my head. I'm not saying it's definitely what's happened. Don't want to get sued. But what could potentially have happened is one of the members of Red Bull that have left for Aston Martin has taken intellectual property with them, gone to Aston Martin before the gardening leave has been up, and then said, this is the philosophy that Red Bull's going to go down. And then because they're already way down the road with their current design, they then halt development of that car to then develop this new car that they've put the numbers in and seen it's a much better concept, and then develop that and then come out with the car that's come out in Spain. That's another option. Or they could be telling the absolute truth, and it's just a coincidence that 50 different designers across 2 teams and thousands of man-hours and research have just coincidentally come up with exactly the same concept.
But no one else came up with the Mercedes concept. No one's come out with the
Exactly. Nobody.
the Ferrari dip concept.
No team has come up. No two teams have come up with the same concept,
or even the similar style.
Yeah. So how Aston Martin could have come out with one that is identical? It's just the same. It just stinks for me. It's the same thing as the pink Mercedes thing, which they managed to manipulate the regulations to make that work for them, and fair play to them. I said at the time, I don't disagree with it because they've manipulated the regulations. That's been closed off now. You're no longer allowed to do that. So for me, it stinks.
Yeah, I think it's complete rubbish idea. I think why would they do it? I can't even understand why they would do that.
I think that whole
like,
thing
what are they
lost
gaining?
direction.
What are they gaining?
Well,
I don't understand what they're gaining because actually they've not gained anything.
Yeah, well, obviously the hope is it will gain lap time, but that entire team for me has just completely lost focus and lost direction. Ever since Lawrence Stroll's taken over that team, the car, they have not built a good car since Lawrence Stroll bought that team. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the day he took over that team, they ended up qualifying like third and fifth for Spa, and then ended up almost leading into turn one, because they just got a great run down the Kemmel Straight, and everything looked rosy for the team. But since that point, they've just not looked up to it as a team. They've not designed a car since then that has worked.
Yeah, but the thing is, it just feels like their aero team don't understand how any of their cars work. So it's all very well it's like me going out there and putting a supercharger and everything else into my car. If I don't know how it works, it doesn't make it any quicker. If I put, like the understanding of the car, you have to understand the car. It's very different to, say, me driving with a supercharger on my engine. That's quite an obvious little thing, but unless they were talking fractions of seconds with these cars, unless you understand the philosophies, and they don't, so they just bolt on shit and just hope it works, which is like me bolting on a supercharger on my car. I just hope it works.
Yeah,
I don't even know if I can put a supercharger in my car. Can I put a supercharger?
Who knows? Do it. Find out. So that's the whole thing just doesn't really sit right with me, obviously, and I'm going to apologise again for my fans that keep kicking in, which I'm sure you can hear. But we're just going to have to live with it, I'm afraid, because this office is really stuffy.
He's getting hat.
This office is really stuffy, and
just open the window.
It's just going to keep doing it. Anything else come out? So Mercedes, the pace of Mercedes. Do you want to talk about
that? Yeah, I mean, that car is good. It's getting there. I don't know what they changed this week, but I knew there was some updates. Was there?
Floor upgrade, and a few other little pieces.
Which makes sense. I still think that if that car had side pods, it would be going faster. I think now they've sorted out. And I was thinking about this the other day. Basically, with the floor, it sounded almost like that it was bending too much, which gives you the idea that it almost sucks you down. But I feel it's a bit like a hovercraft. It sucks you down, but it then bounces you on top, Yeah. And the air has to escape out.
Yeah.
It has to go somewhere. And it does, because you've got the bendy floor, it does escape out the sides. And I think that's what is giving the issue. But I still think if you had the side pods, the pressure would be on top of that car. And I still think it's a shit ugly design. It is the ugliest car on that track, let's be honest.
I don't agree. I think the Aston Martin, the old Aston Martin was
I like
worse.
the Aston Martin. No, I like the Aston Martin. I thought it was the nicest looking.
The colours look nice, but the car doesn't, I don't think.
I still think that Merc is the ugliest thing on that track, and it looks like a Pokemon. I can't remember ever which one it is. Ditto?
I have no idea. Okay.
What do you think?
I think they've now got to the point where they wanted to be at race one. So now they've got to start developing. But the trouble is they're 3 months behind everyone else. So as I said at the start of the season, I think they will end the season with the quickest car. I still believe that. I still think they will end the season with the quickest car. But it's too late for any championship challenge now. It's just a case of maximising points for the team and seeing if they can get in the way. Part of me wants them to just kind of like troll Red Bull and just basically base all their strategies on trying to beat Red Bull and then like to hell with Ferrari. and just basically just try and stop Red Bull winning. I can see them doing it. No, I can't see them doing it. They'll focus on their car and their results.
Yeah,
and try and...
I do. I don't think they're going to be. I think they're going to. I don't know what they're from Mercedes are going to do this year as to what their aim is now.
I think they'll win some races.
That
should be the target. Win some races. Yeah, I think they will. I think George and Lewis will both win races this year, or certainly race. I reckon they'll both win one race at least.
Yeah, and although George did better in some ways in the standings, Hamilton did once again show his race prowess to get up to where he was.
Yeah, I mean,
so I think that question of car versus racer. Hamilton's in a shit car now, and I still think he's the better driver.
I mean, yeah, there's been 6
and I'm
races.
not a Hamilton fan, so don't come at me.
There's been 6 races, and it's currently 5-1 to Russell when it comes to race results.
Yeah, but Hamilton
when you break down those results, it's kind of for performance only. Like, I mean, this is all obviously subjective. You can, basing something on a performance is I can think Russell has done well in every single race. That's one thing you've got to say. He has not had a bad race.
Oh, I'm not saying he's a bad race, but I'm not saying he's...
Hamilton has had 2 bad races. I'm not saying he's
world champion level.
Yeah, Hamilton has had... Yeah, he's had 2 bad races. But the 4 races he has had that have been good, I think his performance has been equal or better than Russell's. But he has had 2 bad races. So they're very even at the moment. But I do think that now that car is in a position where it looks like it can certainly be challenging for podiums on merit, I think now that's going to be Hamilton's impetus to now push on. So I think you'll see a step change now in Hamilton, and maybe not in Monaco because it's a bit of an outlier. Baku's a bit of an outlier as well, but certainly by the time we get to Canada, I think you'll see a fresh Lewis Hamilton that's now back on form and will be certainly performing on an equal or better level than George Russell is, and I think you'll see him start to bring home the bigger results and those big results. And I don't think there's certainly not a situation where Mercedes should be favouring Russell over Hamilton.
Yeah.
Which I know some people have suggested. And
no.
They're not in the championship fight, so why would you? It doesn't make sense.
And not when you're paying Hamilton a lot more money.
Well, that's irrelevant. It doesn't. I don't think that matters. It shouldn't matter. That shouldn't matter.
Yeah. I don't want to. Yeah. I think. Yeah. But you'd be wanting to get your money's worth out of the higher paid driver.
Well, yes, but the money's worth is the best results, isn't it?
Yeah, which I think will be Hamilton.
I think
Russell's just been lucky almost with where he is. I really don't think I don't think he's the golden goose child.
I think he can do a couple of seasons alongside Lewis Hamilton, and I think he may well end up being the finished article. This year and next year are Hamilton's only chances to win that 8th World Championship. The year after, I think Russell will be on par or better than him, because then you'll start to get the diminishing return from Lewis Hamilton, where he starts to go down in performance, and Russell by then will be up to or better than Hamilton, I think. But hey, I think experience counts for something. That on pure pace, they're both kind of on an even keel now, but Hamilton's got the experience, the wiliness, the guile. He has that mental strength as well. We haven't seen Russell get mentally challenged yet. Let's see what happens when he's under pressure.
Yeah. So the McLaren camp, what is going on there?
I mean, the car's okay. I mean, considering that was a really hot race, and we saw how bad they were in the hot race of Bahrain. So. Sorry, I keep looking up because there's a shadow of a cobweb that's moving whenever my fans turn on. I'm just watching it sway, so I'm going to have to get that cobweb down. It's annoying me. I missed it. There we go. Got it. Yeah. So I don't know that McLaren. Lando is obviously in the ascendancy in that car. Ricardo needs a big performance in Monaco. Last year he said, I run these streets, and then probably got lapped by his teammates. So let's go and see what happens this weekend, but he needs a big performance in Monaco. It's very much a car equaling situation, Monaco. So let's see what he does in Monaco.
It's all in the qualifying, isn't it?
I do think that if he's nowhere in Monaco, like not qualifying for Q3 or even out in Q1, God forbid, I think that's when McLaren are actively going to start looking at other options for next year. And it seems like they have made some links.
Or have they already? And that's why Ricardo's so despondent.
nothing's been decided in that car, I don't think yet. Especially given that he's still got 18 months on his contract.
Yeah.
But I think there will certainly be clauses in there to say that after 2 years, if you haven't won X amount of races, or you perform to a certain level, then there may well be buyout clauses in there.
So many points or something,
Yeah, potentially, or within a certain percentage of his teammate might be the clause or something like
that. He's just behind, and Lando didn't have a great race, but he had the race where he had tonsillitis, and
in 40-degree heat, that's impressive.
I don't think that's, bless him. I think that his Monaco one will be tarnished from that as well, Lando's. So I'm not expecting anything big from Lando this week.
Well, it's not great preparation.
Not this week. Next week.
This week.
Is it this week? Oh yeah, we had the Monaco preview. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. You did the preview car.
I'm not expecting anything from him.
Yeah.
At all. And the Ricardo's just, I don't know. I think we all want Ricardo to do well because we all like the personality of Ricardo.
Yeah.
But actually, is he time to retire off? Where else can he go now? He's been around everywhere.
Well, I mean, he's raced for McLaren, Renault, Red Bull, Toro Rosso, HRT. Mm-hmm. So that's 5 teams he's been at now.
Who's HRT now?
They just folded. They went out of existence. Right. That was when there was 24 cars on the grid.
Okay.
So to go to a 6th team, I can't think of any other driver that's raced for 6 different teams in Formula 1. Unless he goes back. I mean, Alonso's raced for Renault, McLaren, Ferrari, Renault, McLaren, Renault. He's raced for 6 teams, but 3 of them were the same team.
Yeah.
So and Minardi as well. So he's changed teams 6 times, whereas Ricardo.
Yeah, but he's also a lot older.
Yeah, he's about Ricardo. 5 years older, 5-6 years older. Ricardo's older than you think.
Oh, is he? I think that's part of the problem. He's older than I think.
He's in his 30s.
You've got a young whippersnapper there, who's Zach Brown's boy.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to be in McLaren if that was me.
Yeah.
I'd be vying for Guan Yu Zhou's seat if I was Ricardo.
Well, he hasn't been to Alpha. He hasn't raced for Sauber. So
no,
yeah,
and a Ferrari engined car at all, has he?
I think the Toro Rosso may have had a Ferrari engine the first time he drove it.
Okay,
potentially.
But I think that would be where I'd be vying for if I was Ricardo, because I think that would be a great pairing, Ricardo and Bottas.
But I don't think they're going
the old timers there. But I think it'd be an interesting.
I don't think they're gonna get rid of Zhou because the money he brings in.
Yeah.
But yeah, there we go. And also what he does for Formula 1 with the Chinese audience. So
I think Ricardo will end up on our screens within 3 years of retiring.
Potentially, yeah.
As a commentator.
Yeah, he'd do good at that.
Yeah,
I think he'd go off and race somewhere else. I think he'll end up going to like Baja or something and do some.
Oh, he'd probably do the Dakars and things.
Yeah,
because he likes his mud vehicles and things. So.
Yeah. What about the Red Bull team orders? What's your thoughts on that?
I think I already specified that. Verstappen should never have won. I
still think he would have won. I still think he would have won.
I know, but he shouldn't have won. In the sense of he shouldn't have been given that, as he was.
He had to earn it.
He had to earn it, and I don't think Verstappen. I don't think Sainz was doing anything bad.
Perez,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Perez. For me,
the
way, and as well, what people have got to remember as well. I mean, I've been a big critic of Perez as well, but Verstappen gets all the upgrades. Like Perez's car is not as it's when they come out and do the show and tell thing, they say which cars have got what upgrades. Verstappen is always getting the upgrades first. So Perez's car is always one iteration behind Verstappen. So when I'm not saying that he's as good as Verstappen because clearly he isn't, but he's fighting against Verstappen with a car that is already inferior. So of course he's going to be behind him.
But if on the championship race, in the championship battle, had Perez won, would Verstappen still be above
No, he would have been 1 point behind.
Leclerc.
He would have been 1 point behind, but he probably
So
would
that's
have.
why
He probably would have been given the opportunity to go for fastest lap, so they probably would be level.
So that's why the team orders were in place to get him ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
But
every point does count in that sense.
Yeah,
So
I know it
understand the team's view of it.
But it's
Is
the
it
sixth
the
race
question?
of the season.
Yeah, but is this a team sport?
It is a team
Is
sport,
this a team
but
sport?
it's also a competition. It's also a competition. Otherwise, we would only have the Constructors' Championship. There's a Drivers' Champion for a reason. And the whole point of having two drivers...
And which has the more money?
Competition. The Constructors has the most money, but the Drivers is clearly more prestigious because that's the thing that marketing-wise, that's the thing that brings in the marketing bucks. But the Constructors is the one that brings in the money.
Okay. Because
prize fund wise, it's Constructors, but kudos, it's the Drivers.
So on that side of prize funds, which again, this is what it's all about, is money. This sport, then it's a team game, and you have to play the team game, and it should just be a team game in that sense. And
yeah, but that makes no difference. That makes no difference for the Constructors' Championship, does it? Switching the Red Bulls over makes no difference to the Constructors' Championship because they still scored the same amount of points.
Oh yeah, good point.
That's what I mean. It's just, for me, it just reeks. And as I said, I think that Verstappen would have got past anyway. But the only thing I can say in defence of Verstappen is that he was hamstrung by his failed DRS, which means that it would have been very difficult for him to pass Perez because his DRS was intermittently working.
Yeah.
So there is that to contend with. But equally, that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, you have unreliability. That's not Perez's fault. Perez drove really well. He got up behind Verstappen, wanted to go past him to attack George Russell. They said no, waited till Verstappen pitted out the way, and then Perez sailed past him. That cost him probably 5-6 seconds off his race time at least. So all of a sudden, Verstappen is an extra 5 to 10 seconds back from Perez. When he catches up to him, there's less of the race to go. Perez might be able to hold on. He earned the right to fight for that win. And we know that Perez is not the kind of person that's going to take his teammate off. We know that. But he deserved the opportunity to fight for that win, whether he was going to win or not. I still think Verstappen would have found a way past because he had much fresher tyres at that point, whereas when he was fighting Russell, they were on the same age tyre because they literally came in at the same time. But it's just, yeah, for me it stinks, and they should have allowed them to fight, but like Alpine did earlier in the season, and like McLaren have done, and like Mercedes have done as well, with Russell coming through passing Hamilton in Miami. Mm-hmm. So it's just yeah, it's the same situation as Russell Hamilton, isn't it? Except they let them race.
Yeah.
But hey ho, there we go. That's Red Bull for you. They obviously don't want a repeat of where you had Verstappen and Ricardo constantly clashing with each other, and Vettel and Webber, and they've got previous with team orders, so they obviously want to avoid that. So that's fair enough.
But what happens if the driver refuses?
I guess they'd be in breach of contract, wouldn't they?
So that's the thing. If they're in breach of contract, they then have to do the team orders, and thus.
Well, yeah, but the answer is don't give team orders.
Yeah, but then that's the thing. But that should be dictated by FIA.
No, I don't think the FIA should get involved in it. They shouldn't be. They just shouldn't. I mean, they've tried it before where they've banned team orders and it doesn't work.
Yeah, they just all have code.
Yeah, they just be like, Sergio, the chicken has laid an egg, or something like that. You know, they'll code it in other ways, and they've done it before. They've had the whole multi 21 thing. They would say to the drivers, multi 21 means car 2 finishes ahead of car 1, and then multi map 12 was car 1 finishes above car 2, which was Vettel and Webber. So multi 21 was Webber was to finish ahead of Vettel, and obviously Vettel had other ideas and passed him anyway.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, I think you can't stop it. They obviously were trying to get Verstappen ahead of Leclerc in the championship. Although he shouldn't have won, and I'm sad that there is team orders, I do understand why there is the reason. And if there's no rules against it, then I can't see the issue.
Yeah, it's the whole thing of Verstappen. Well, not Verstappen because this was the team thing, but you know, making use of the regulations to the best of their ability, like the whole thing with Verstappen and the safety car and pulling alongside the driver, and the way that it didn't say in the rules that you couldn't push a driver off track when in the braking zone, and so he used that. But you notice this year he doesn't do that anymore because the new race directors have come down hard and said that is no longer racing.
Yeah,
that's just not cricket. You can't do that anymore. So now they've stopped that completely, and you don't see Verstappen doing it anymore.
No, but I think they will push every rule book going, and that's what Red Bull and Verstappen certainly does. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm not against it. But I think if that happens, you don't want then your second driver whinging about it like he has.
Well, to be fair to Perez, he just said, "Yep, okay, I'll do it, but we're going to talk about it afterwards."
Yeah,
so
then the last thing I heard
Sorry,
the last thing I heard was that he was saying, "Oh, I thought he was going to give it back to me." Why? Do you know? That's what.
Was he not talking about the first one there, where because he got team orders twice, and then he didn't get team orders for himself when he needed them.
Okay.
So maybe he meant that.
Oh yeah.
When he let him through the first time, he would get it back later in the race, and then when the position was that he was ahead of him on track, he didn't get it back. He didn't get that. So I think that's more what he was referring to.
Okay.
But he's sad Checo. Sad Checo.
But I'm sorry, but you shouldn't be. You know, that's your team. You're being paid to race. You're living your best lives. You know.
Woe is him.
Yeah.
It's not the worst. It's not
that's
the worst
problem.
situation
I just feel
world,
like crack on. You know.
Yeah.
On that one.
But there we go. So anything else you want to talk about Spain? I mean, the race itself was pretty good when it comes to Spanish Grand Prix.
Yeah,
no safety cars.
No safety cars. I didn't even realise that.
Yeah,
and yet
first time in like 50 races we haven't had a safety car, I think.
And still a great race.
Yeah.
And no virtual safety cars either. Nothing.
No.
We had a few yellow flags.
The only retirements were people stopping in the pit.
It was nice to see a race which actually was a race where the fun was watching the race as opposed to watching the crash bang wallop of the track. Which, as we've got Monaco coming up, we're going to have a few crash bang wallops.
Oh, Monaco's going to be carnage, I think, because with these new cars, you can't ride the curbs.
Yeah.
And you can't see the curbs properly. And Monaco, if you're a centimetre out of position, you're in the wall. And how the hell is Latifi going to cope?
He's not. He's going to spin out in first practice, and we won't see him for the rest. So it's grand.
It's going to be hell.
Are they doing normal practices this week?
Yeah, we're back to Friday. Yeah, because they always do Thursday, Friday. Thursday, then rest day on Friday for a big party on the streets, and then Saturday qualifying, Sunday race. But now,
it wasn't. It was Thursday, Friday qualifying, Saturday party.
100%.
It was.
Nope. Qualifying on a Friday was the first time that happened in many a year. Was last year with the sprint races. It was practice Thursday. Qualifying Saturday, race Sunday, because Friday was the rest day. It used to be because Friday was a bank holiday, but that's in Monte Carlo, but that's not the case anymore. And I think it's because Carl's frantically Googling this to find out that he's wrong. And there's Formula One are getting more kind of annoyed with Monaco because they don't pay a fee to host the race, and they don't really bring a lot in. They're just this jewel in the crown, and I think now with Las Vegas on the horizon and Miami proving a success, and you've got races in Abu Dhabi and other glamorous places, that they no longer need Monaco like they used to. So I think Monaco could be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, I can't find it. Where is it?
Just look up 2019 Monaco Grand Prix practice date or something. I don't want to pause the podcast just for this, just to prove you wrong.
I'm trying to find it.
Well, find it later and then we'll put it in the comments.
Okay.
But I am right.
And I am right.
I can promise you that. But Monaco, yeah. Do you want to do some predictions for Monaco?
Hang on, what's this? Monaco 2021.
This is great audio content. What are you looking?
Oh no, I'm not. I'm looking at Porsche.
I thought you could say I'm looking at porn then.
Porsche qualifying session was on Saturday. They didn't have a day off on Sunday. I don't know. I'm confused. I'm sure it was.
Always Saturday.
Oh yeah. Why does Monaco not practice on a Friday?
There we go. Congratulations.
Anyway.
Breaking news!
It's breaking
Carl's wrong.
news. Carl has just found out. We didn't do qualifying on a Friday in Monaco. Yeah, so predictions for Monaco then. So we'll go winner.
What was our predictions last week?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll have to open up the diary and find out.
Actually, I've got it
let's have a
here.
look. Have you?
I got it because I wrote it last time.
You did, yeah. I haven't even opened it from last week.
So was this episode 76? Yes.
Probably.
So pole. Who was on pole?
Leclerc.
You won.
Hey.
Win. Neither of us. You had Leclerc. I had Bottas.
Okay.
Oh, you might be right here. Hot take. I think you're right.
What did I say?
Merck was the second highest constructor.
Did I say second highest constructor?
Yeah.
Second
I
highest
think
scoring constructor. So you
Yeah.
got Red Bull, obviously. Sainz was fourth, so Mercedes outscored them. McLaren, yeah, yes, it was.
There you go.
2 out of 3, and Leclerc would have won had it not been the issues. But then, if that happened, then Mercedes wouldn't have been the highest. Yeah, okay, 2 out of 3. I'll take it. What about you?
You've done well. Both the Alpines were DNF. Well, I was wrong.
No, they both finished in the points.
They both finished in the points. So
Okay.
yeah,
Right,
So I had a really rubbish one.
right. This is going to be tough. This one. I'm
Are you
I'm
writing it on
unsure.
your diary?
No, because I haven't got it open. If you could do it again, that'd be awesome.
Jesus. This is at 77. Well, next week will be. Go on.
Right, pole. I don't know. I mean, I think it's going to favour Ferrari again. Do you know? I can see. I can see something weird, like something random, like Magnussen or Bottas on pole. I can see that kind of thing, that kind of craziness happening. You know.
I wouldn't be surprised about Bottas, to be honest.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna go. Carlos Sainz qualifies on pole.
I'm going to go that my man Leclerc actually manages to do it.
I think he will, but it just seems boring always putting Leclerc for pole. So I'm gonna go with Sainz.
Well, I
for
went
pole.
with Max last time, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Can you write these down, by the way?
I am writing them down.
Thank you. Okay, so I've got
Jesus
Leclerc.
Christ.
Right, you go first for race then.
Who's going to win?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Sainz because Leclerc can't finish that race, and he's cursed.
Okay. And I'm going to go opposite. I'm going to go to Clare. Finally breaks his duck. He finally wins the Monaco Grand Prix. Finally finishes the Monaco Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Cool. Hot take.
Hang on. Tom. Go on, you do your hot take.
This race yields the most on-track retirements of the season. That's on track. That's not just pulling in the pits because the engine's gone. I.e., more crashes.
What am I going to go for? Rico makes the points.
Okay, cool. I'll take it.
Let's see how good he is.
I hope
So
he does.
probably just cursed that.
I hope he gets a podium.
You did quite well this week, especially with your hot take.
Yeah.
That was quite a bold
Yeah, I was
hot
quite happy
take.
with that. Well, I just thought it's the upgrades. It's Spain. It's going to be hot.
Yeah.
So I said second fastest team because I thought that Ferrari were just going to 1-2 it, and then Hamilton might get a podium, and then
Yeah.
Russell would be fifth or something, you know. But as it turned out, it was fifth and third in the end.
Yeah. Not bad at all.
Cool.
Right.
So we've got the Indy 500 this weekend,
Oh, yeah.
which again I can't watch for the third year in a row.
Who's how we do? Did our man get through?
So
Okay.
Stefan had an issue with his car on qualifying day, but as there's no bumping this year because only 33 entries, he is starting on the back row, so he is in the race.
Oh, wicked!
So
That's good.
that's cool. They're building for next year. They're trying to build a program together so that he can actually get a few races down next year, as well as the Indy 500. Like get like the GMR race and then a couple of ovals as well.
Okay.
So they build. This is a building year for them. So his target is
Finish
to
the race.
finish the race on the lead lap. That's his best case scenario because the car's very thrown together. It's got so many partners. It's not even an oval car. It's a road track car that they've converted to an oval car. So it's not even.
Jesus.
It's going to be great. But he was showing good pace in practice, and it looked like they weren't going to be on the back row. It was going to be people like Dalton Kellett on the back row. Fast 12, both McLarens got into the Fast 12, which was awesome. And in the end, it was Scott Dixon qualified for pole, which he did last year actually, but he doesn't often do that well at
Where's Willie Power?
Will Power. Did he make the Fast 12? I can't remember.
No.
I think he did make the Fast 12, but he didn't do that well. He didn't get into the Fast 6. But it's annoying me because like all through the practice sessions, I've been keeping up with this. All through the practice sessions, Chevrolet were looking like the engine to beat, whereas it's normally Honda. Then we get to the Fast 6, and it's 4 Hondas and 2 Chevrolets, and then it's 2 Hondas on the front row.
Front row.
The highest Chevrolet, I think, it might even be because they do rows of 3. I can't remember who was. I think VK was 3rd, maybe. I think, and it was Palou as well in there. So it was Chip Ganassi right at the front again, which is a bit annoying because I was kind of hoping this was going to be a Chevy race just because of McLaren, But
Yeah.
there we go. Juan Montoya's like down in 31st or something in the 3rd McLaren, but there we go. Yeah.
No one really cares about Montoya.
I'm going to try and stay away from the result and catch up with it in the evening once the in-laws go home.
When is the race? Oh, so you've not seen Monaco live?
No.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, I'm not. Depends when they leave, but I think they'll leave before lunchtime. So, sorry, after lunchtime. So I won't be able to watch it live. But again, I'll try and stay away from the result and catch up with it. So yeah, and then Baku and Canada, the 2 that I will not be around for. So that's kind of down to you to sort something out for that.
Oh dear. What could possibly go wrong? Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else you want to talk about? The F2 and the F3 were decent. I
actually watched one of the F2 races.
Yeah,
I watched W Series as well.
Yeah, W Series was. I mean, Jamie Chadwick's just killing it.
Yeah, I mean,
just
absolutely flying it.
Yeah, she's won 5 races in a row.
Do they change drivers? There seems to be more drivers in the prequel than there is in the teams.
What do you mean?
Like your woman with the big hair, that's the presenter now. She's in.
Yeah,
Naomi. She's in the as one of the drive. She almost looks like she's in the W Series title sequence.
I don't think she is.
She's definitely in the title sequence because me and Laura questioned it as to why she was there.
She's not racing, but she is an ex-W Series racer.
Why would they just put ex-W Series racers in the title sequence? It's a bit weird. Am I wrong? I'm sure she's in the title sequence because we questioned it.
I don't know.
And yeah, because she has the W necklace as well.
I don't know.
So,
but yeah, Jamie's running away with it.
And there's only one reserve driver for the whole field, isn't there?
Is there? I don't know. Because that was Abby Pulling last year.
Yeah.
That's how she got her drive.
Yeah, there's someone else. There's one reserve driver for the whole series.
Maybe it's just like they have a reserve driver on standby.
Yeah. I presume there's not enough women racers of that skill to have everyone to have a reserve driver.
Yeah, probably, or maybe just people that haven't that can be on site because there's just not nowhere near as much money in W Series as there is in Formula One, obviously, or the Sport Series. The Sport Series races were decent. Drugovich is looking good in F2. Leclerc had an average weekend, but he's still looking pretty decent for the championship.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch Ted's Notebook tonight. Because I actually, do you know what? I prefer Ted's Notebooks sometimes to anything else.
I've really gone off the Sky coverage.
I really like those notebooks.
I like Ted. And I know Ted is.
I love his rambling podcast. It's almost like a podcast.
Yeah,
so I don't
Ted,
even watch it. I just
Ted
listen.
is a very divisive figure, but I do like Ted. But I don't I don't like the Sky coverage anymore. I might gradually transition onto F1 TV and then. Just
Will Buxton's useless. I had to endure him this week.
For the race, I prefer Crofty and Brundle, but for the build-up, I think I might switch across to F1 TV.
No, I quite like the build-up. I love Danica when she's on.
Yeah, but she's only there for the American races.
know. I'm just like, bring her back. She's brilliant.
She is good, but she doesn't know a huge amount about F1, but she knows a lot about racing.
Yeah, and she's a different style. She's a different viewpoint as well. I quite liked her. I quite like Miami with her and Button. I thought those two were quite good.
Did you see?
Flirting away almost, those two.
Did you see the whole James Corden thing? Because I mean, I'm not a massive fan of James Corden either. But the thing where he said something, basically he offended Danica Patrick.
Oh, really?
He said something like that you would say. He basically said, "Oh yeah, I will be no good at Formula One, but I could give IndyCar a go as it's just turning left or something like that." And she got really offended by it and was like, "Oh yeah, because that's all we do at 230 miles an hour." Yeah, yeah, 200. Fucking hell. Scott Dixon, 234-mile-an-hour average over 4 laps on the IndyCar.
Mad.
It's insane. He had 3 laps, two laps north of 234 and 2 laps in the high 233s, and averaged out as a 234.1. I think it's mental.
That's mad.
I think it's the highest ever. Highest ever. I think he recorded the fastest ever lap around the circuit.
No way.
But the
and is that the cars changing, or is that?
Well, given that they've got the
driving?
Aeroscreen now, that's the Aeroscreen adds weight, so that's really incredible. That's obviously to make, because they're not limited by the engines like they are in Formula One. There's always upgrades to the engines every year. So it's. I do like the Indy 500. I do like ovals, I have to say, because it's so different to everything that we normally see.
It's a bit like horse racing, isn't it?
I never thought I would say that I like ovals, but I think I prefer ovals in IndyCar to the track races.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Track races are a bit weird in IndyCar.
Which I didn't.
I always feel like they're always sort of they're not on proper tracks. So apart from a couple.
You can't say Laguna Seca is not a proper track.
Okay, but there are quite a few.
But yeah, they're very much more rough and ready. They're not as the cars, I would say, are safer than Formula One cars, but the tracks are treacherous compared to Formula One cars. They are nowhere near the same standard. So Tino Belli's done a great job of getting those cars up to scratch. Now we need to get the tracks up to scratch. But the tracks, they don't have as much money, so they just don't have the infrastructure and the runoff and everything. But the ovals have, done really good. The safer barriers are great, and they save lives massively. So
yeah, and I suppose with the ovals, it's only a smaller area that they're in as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good for the fans as well. I don't like the full course cautions when you're on a. When you're on a track, like you have an issue on track and it's just full course caution. You don't have area yellow flags.
Oh yeah,
which just seems a bit odd to me. I
suppose
like that.
It's so messy to then be in an area you don't even know where that area is.
I guess they can't marshal it as well,
no.
So that's probably why they do that. It's just safer all round.
Yeah.
And they do take the safety very seriously because the sport inherently is more dangerous than Formula One. So as a result, they take safety more seriously.
Yeah.
You certainly wouldn't get cars on track going full pelt when there's still marshals on track like you get in Formula One last year. So yeah. Anyway, I think we should wrap up now.
Cool.
I guess.
Your fans have started up.
Yeah, they started again. Let's get this going before my laptop explodes. Yeah. We'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm still sure I'm right about Monaco.
You're not.
I am.
You're definitely not right about Monaco. Right. Let's end this live stream.